everybody! Today I'm checking out this special interest publication from Better Homes and Gardens. It's called So Scrappy Volume 2 and the publication date is 2011. I got this magazine in like a big box with a bunch of other magazines, so I don't actually know if I've flipped through it yet. So let's check it out together. So Scrappy Volume 2. Look, this magazine was originally for sale at Quilter's Paradise. Quilter's Paradise is legendary quilter Eleanor Burns. That's her store in, where is that? Escondido? Maybe Calabasas? It's down by San Diego. So she had it for sale for $12.99 and then they made it 50% off. Okay, I got it for 19 cents at a thrift shop. Wow, what a deal. Really? Quilting magazines are such a value. If I buy a quilt pattern, like, what's time? Here, look, I bought this quilt pattern. This is Big Sky Star. It's a lovely little quilt pattern from an independent designer. It's great. I expect to pay $12 to $16 for a quilt pattern like this. And I think that's great. I would pay that. I'm gonna get, I don't even know how many quilts in here. 23. 23 quilt projects. I don't get to pick them, but for only 19 cents. That's a great deal. Okay, so here's all the projects. Let's check them out. First up, we have this Carpenter Star. I really like this low volume background. I should probably say, I haven't been saying who made these, and I don't want to skip that. Quilt inspired by buggy wheels from the designer Janet Nesbitt and Pam Soliday of the Buggy Barn. That looks really nice draped like that too. So I'm into this low volume background. I'm also into the variety of blues in the Carpenter Star. I don't think I've seen Carpenter Stars laid out, like, what is this, 9 of them? I feel like I've seen a lot of like one really big one in the middle. So this is an updated view of it. It's a lot of half square triangles. Next up we have Scattered Leaves, designer Pam Buddha of Heart Spun Quilts. Oh, it looks, I wasn't instantly attracted to this in that flat look I flipped to first, but in the light on this fence rail, I think it looks nice. It looks really fall. I think just the colors were really dark for me. There wasn't, like, there's a lot of work that goes into making these log cabins and it just wasn't jumping out. But in the light, on the fence rail, that's a good one. I like all those leaves. You know I like it when everything points a different direction. It's got a nice flow. Okay, the next one is Gumdrops, designer Sherry McConnell of A Quilting Life. Well, this one's not really doing it for me. I love the scrappy binding though. I will find something nice to say about it. That's awesome. Oh, that's really cool. And I will also say that scrappy binding does stand out a lot on that solid white border. I concede the point. Yeah, I think these boxes, they're just really busy. And I know that they're making an effort to do the colors. And like in this one, I really see the colors. But like in this one, these pink prints and this pink and the yellow is so big that it kind of gets a little muddy. Not muddy, it's really bright. It's just, I can't, there's nowhere to like rest my eye because there's always some other color to look at. Not a huge fan. Okay, next up we have, don't read the pattern, copyright infringement. Autumn Harvest, designer Chris Kerrigan of Button Weeds. This is hourglass units. I like these. Ooh, I really like this. Okay. This color option, the board, okay, so the thing that was throwing me off about this is the border triangles really kind of dwarf the hourglass units. And I made a border like this once too, and I'm a little frustrated with it still to this day. Sometimes, you know, you have this little center quilt and it's just perfect and you're like, I need it to be a lot bigger, so you put a big border on it. And then when I look at this, it's like, wow, that border is gigantic. That's my first reaction. But over here in the color option, the border is like making a design, so it looks like the hourglass units are sitting on top of that design, which I'm sure was intended to happen over here too. I just don't have enough contrast for that design to pop out. Like now that I'm looking at it, if I really squint my eyes, I can see that there was intention in where they put those dark triangles. It's just not popping enough for me. Over here, yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. I do like a lot of hourglass units though. It's very pleasing to see. Polka Dot Fest designer Becky Goldsmith of Piece of Cake Designs. Whew, look at those boots. All right, is this a faux cathedral window? No, this is a real cathedral window. You gotta sew a lot of curves and you gotta have a lot of accuracy in the points. This, where these come together, is a big intersection. Let's see. I don't know that, like, I know red and white quilts are really traditional. I don't know that this one is doing the design justice, because it should, I feel like this design, one of the things that you get is you can have either this like 4-petaled flower that can kind of pop out, or you can have the effect of kind of the pinched squares, or the circles, the interlocking circles too, of course. But on this one, I'm not really getting any of them. There's a lot going on in the patterns, and there's a lot going on in the shape, and I don't quite see it. It's impressive though. I mean, that was a lot of work to make that. I do love that big polka dot border. I think that frames it really nicely. Is there a color option? No, just one color of that one. Okay, next up, So Small designer Roseanne Meehan Kerms of Rosebud's Cottage. A trio of token quilts lets you audition charm pack fabrics. What happened to these corners? Oh, this binding. See them again? Look at that churn dash one. Oh, they hid it in the back so I couldn't see it, and I'm into that. Okay. Little 9 patches, sure. Something's going on with these corners. Can you tell what happened? I'm not sure what happened to those corners, but something's happening underneath there. That's that turn dash one. That was gonna be my favorite one. Oh, that middle one doesn't quite have enough pop. I love a turn dash block. Oh, look, is this flipped? Yes. No, this is right. I also love a churn dash with a flip corner. Next up, we have Rhymes with Baby. A checkerboard sashing around shoe fly blocks creates a playful vibe to match a nursery rhyme novelty print. Quilt inspired by Perfect Harmony from designers Leslie Emery and Melissa Emery of In Between Stitches. There's the... Ooh. Wow. How did they get those stripes all going the same way? That's an impressive block right there. Good job. Okay, for this one, I have that same like scale issue. Like we have this giant outer border, and then we have these teeny tiny little 9 patches, and then this medium-sized block, and it's not really coming together for me. It's disjointed with this big border, which a big border to use this obvious novelty print. Great. The shoe fly blocks look really 30s. Those colors, that's great. It's not all coming together for me. This scale is too different. Big border, tiny blocks, medium sized. Yeah. On this stripe though, how did they do that? How can you make a half square triangle? I guess you can't cut a square and draw a line down the middle. You have to do it like the old fashioned. You have to actually cut out triangles. I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever actually cut out 2 triangles and then sewn them together to make one half square triangle. Newfangled. Okay, what do we have here? Flank a panel print inspired by 1930s fabric with easy to sew square and a square blocks to quickly brew a beautiful throw. Designers Renee Naneman and Becky Cogan of Needled Love. What? All right, I love the prairie points. Instant reaction. Yes, prairie points. Also kind of cool that they only did them on 2 sides. A little bit looks like a beach towel, like a tasseled beach towel, but I love prairie points. What's going on with these rows? Like this long, hang on, consulting. Oh, come on. It's a panel. Okay, well, this quilt, in my opinion, is impossible. So what's going on here is they pieced all of these little square and a square blocks. 1, 2, 3 rows of square and a square blocks. Great job, way to go. Then they set them in these panels. So this orange and this kind of chocolatey, browny, black are printed together. And the reason that I'm calling this impossible is because panels do not get printed straight. Wait, that's not true. They get printed straight, but by the time you're using them, they are not straight. And this panel with these long skinnies, somebody wrestled that with a hot iron and 6 cans of starch to get that border to lay straight. Because there's no, I feel like even if you were at the factory where they're printing it, there's still no way you would be able to get such straight lines with faux looking points coming into another piece of patchwork. Gosh, that orange print, that panel is cute though. Look at those owls. You can tell it's a panel though because look, nothing goes off into the other side. Like see how none of the pumpkins get cut off, none of the witches get cut off, even the stars. Oh, that point gets cut off because that was pieced into the border. I like this quilt, but I don't think it's fair to put stuff like this, like to make a pattern for something like this because nobody else can make it. Like nobody has enough time to starch a panel as much as it's, oh yeah, that would have been the giveaway right there. Goodness. All right. Peach Cobbler. This quilt was inspired by Dodgeball. Oh, that's fun. From Pat Slim. Okay. This, I have to imagine, this is really not my colors. So when I see a quilt like this, I try to just like, you know, picture it in black and white, put like that black and white filter of my phone over it so that I can kind of open my mind to the possibilities. The first thing that's sticking out to me are these little, like these dark points that come together. I feel like you could make some stars, no? Like if you were really intentional about this and you did it on all 4 and not on the next, oh no, because then you couldn't do it on this one. I think about like tiling designs, but it does look like this could be a little star coming off of this snowball block. That's probably a whole, I'm seeing this quilt and I'm making a whole different quilt from it. I'm not super inspired by this border. I want more going on in between the snowball blocks, I think. But it could also just be prejudice from the colors. Yeah. Snowball, oh, okay, I can't think about that quilt anymore because I gotta think about this one. Oh, let's see who made this, sorry. Funky fabrics and churn dash blocks in 4 sizes transform simple lines to an eye-appealing bed-sized quilt. Yes, this is all my buttons, bed-sized. Funky fabrics, turn dash blocks. The designers are Sarah Maxwell and Dolores Smith of Homestead Hearth. Whoa! This is funky fabrics indeed. How are they getting? Oh, they don't quite tile. There's a little, you have to put a little sashing in some of them. My only complaint about this is that you can't see all the turn dashes clearly enough. Like the contrast is a little riding the line on some of them, but like look at how that one stands out. Yes, this one. Love it. I've also heard the turn dash block called the monkey wrench block. I don't know which is correct. Saw 2 stars in Civil War reproduction prints form a small quilt with vintage charm. Quilt inspired by bountiful boutiques from Heritage Designs staff. Aw, I don't even get to name it. It's just the staff. All right, we got a tiny little sawtooth star. Wait, Ohio star. Nope. I think a Ohio star is maybe a sawtooth star set on point. Probably wrong. Probably wrong about everything I think I know about quilt blocks. Yeah, this is great. This is a great pattern that you could use to make really a quilt of any size once you have the blocks and the setting triangles. How big? They said it was small, huh? But this is also one of those that like you can take the design of this block and scale it up to make something a lot bigger. Then you have to figure out your setting triangles, of course, but finished quilts 45 and 5/8. Okay, that's like baby size. That's not bad. I think you could scale it up and it would be difficult. You'd have to make a lot of blocks, but I think it would look really nice. The next one is Dots Are Hot. Simple shapes in bright colors make strong statement. Whoa. Ooh. Dang. Who cut out all those circles? Circles on circles. Here's my question. Is this square got a whole pink piece of, I tried to say baloney. Does this red square have an entire pink circle that has an entire blue circle that has an entire green circle on it? Is that 4 layers of fabric in the middle of all these? Because that's going to be heavy. I think the impact is really nice though. These colors, oh man, it's hard to work with color like that, but it's really working in this design. Good job. But if it's 4 layers, dislike because that's too heavy. Box it up. Okay, who remembers that mag gab where somebody tried to tell me that courthouse steps look like this? Square blocks, box blocks. This quote was inspired by Square Deal from designers Barbara Grove and Mary Jacobson of Me and My Sister Designs. Oh, everybody always loves Me and My Sister Designs. And look, here we have a pattern right here in our magazine from them. I like it. I like that other one. I'm still remembering it was like had a big piano key border that I liked, but this works too. Do you think those are donuts in the border? My first instinct was that they look like red blood cells, but I think, with like sickle cells in a textbook, I think they're donuts though. That's whimsical. I love that. I'm calling these box blocks. The other magazine called them courthouse steps. If you say box blocks, this is what I'm imagining. Okay, who do we have next? Trellis Effect. Designer Penny Streeter of Penny's Patches. All right, here we have lovely, simple quill. You can make this with well, I don't know what you could make this with. I don't know why I'm trying to give a tutorial here. This looks like it would be charm pack friendly. Something's off with the sashing. No? Are you getting, like, is this sashing a lot bigger than this sashing? Obviously that's on purpose. I did not notice that right away. Okay, so this is like a block with sashed blocks, and then that's pretty meta. Like you make all these blocks and you sash them, and then you sash the sash blocks. Wow. Sashing on sashing. I think if it were my choice, the sashing would be the same size. Obviously I'm not making this quilt, I'm just being judgmental of it. But I think this is good. Like designs like this in quilt magazines, so helpful to have. Scrappy Hourglass. I think this is my favorite quilt of this magazine. Oh, and also I forgot these were in here. Look, whoever gave this to the thrift store also gave their house plans. And look at this lady over here. She has a sewing room the entire width of her house. Look, this is her master bedroom, master bathroom. Her sewing room is twice the size of her master bedroom. This is my lady right here. This is awesome. It's called the Party House. Sewing Party House. Good for you, lady. I hope she got her dream house. Oh, and the other thing I love about this is, look, there's a boo-boo block in there. They even circled it because there's no way we would be able to find it. Oh, I should probably say who made it. Designer Kathy Holland. Ugh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's so busy. No border, all over the top. No block looks the same as any, like there's no pooling of colors of the blocks. Yeah, this is my favorite. That's amazing. Is there more Boo Boo blocks? I don't know what they're trying to circle here, but that's awesome. Okay, this is called Fancy This. Get more mileage from your scraps by fusing applique shapes onto cardstock. No. No, no, no. My mom makes cards, and she makes beautiful cards, and I love to get them. I'm not saying that handmade cards aren't great. I'm just saying I'm a quilter, not a card maker. Next, Teeter Totter. Quilt inspired by Hello Yellow from designer Vicky Epen. All right, here's another chance to use my tumbler, my big wedge template. Here's our flat look here. Well, maybe we don't have a flat look. Did I miss it? No, they're not showing us a flat look. You just have to look at it like this. Oh man, I think it's a good way to show off fabric. I like that wedge ruler I have for a circle. This shape is not as attractive to me, but to chop this off, like to chop these in half and have those little tumblers, I'm into a tumbler quilt for sure. Those fabrics are also not doing it for me. I like the quilting though. Love some loop-de-loop quilting. This is a wool mat rickrack. This is primitive. This is Primitive Pieces by Linda, designer Linda Hall. I watched the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. I feel like they would probably love this. Follow y'all. Not my category for commenting on. Okay, this one's called Glory Glory. Quilt inspired by Starry Night's Antique Quilt. Okay, here's how you do inspired by an antique quilt. You see an antique quilt and you sew, like this is a pattern that she sewed. She probably saw a quilt with these stars on it and then, yeah, I like this a lot better. It's tricky too. This star goes into this star. Love that low volume background. Love this low volume background. Yeah, the white versus the cream, I would not expect that I would like. Oh, I guess these are all supposed to be the same fabric. Okay. I feel like we could scrap that up, but oh my gosh, no, it's the same block. Look, it's the same block. They just switched. They just switched which was the color in the stars coming together and which is the background. See, these make the same shape as this. That is so sneaky. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Inspired by a vintage quilt. Christmas Remembered. Reproduction prints offer an alternative to holiday novelty prints for seasonal throw. This is designed by Lila Taylor Scott. And here's our look. Whew. Look at those striped sashings. Oh man. Look at how sneaky those centers are. You don't have to match points in the middle. Oh, I'm into this block. Look, this is giving you kind of like a Hunter Star like spin move, but the middle is not a bunch of points you have to match. They are offset by a little bit. Oh, that's cool. I like that. How do you... Oh, it's just like they snowballed the corner of a... I don't know how they did it. I do know that I like it though. I also like this design that comes together in the corners with that peppermint sashing, those little balls. Ooh, okay, this is a winner. That's cool. That's very cool. Irish Cabins, the use of strip sets speeds piecing. Quilt collector Julie Hendrickson. Oh my gosh, it's happening again. This is an antique quilt, and they made a pattern. Yep. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. This is an antique quilt. We haven't sewn this in the past 50, 75 years. This is a stunning antique quilt. Now that I've had more time to think about it, I like having a pattern for this quilt, but I'm not on board with the pattern, like, ripping off the colors. Like, this is a work of art. Like, the customization that happens, nobody should try to copy how this came together. The design, the blocks, sure, I'm here for that. But if they're gonna make a pattern of it, I think they should sew it. They should sew their own. Like whoever designs this pattern should sew one out of fabrics that make them happy, and then I will use my judgment on that. This is an antique quilt. It's a beautiful quilt. It's a one-of-a-kind piece that no one can hope to recreate. I wonder if we strips piece. But see, I am glad. I'm glad that I have a pattern for it. I can see how they made the sides. And I am thankful for that. I just, yeah, even they knew that they couldn't try to recreate that boo-boo block up there. So they're even laying it out. They stole her colors, but they're laying it out more evenly. Yeah. Okay, I guess I still have complicated feelings about this. It's a cool quilt though. Very cool quilt. Classic design and rich autumn hues combined in a cozy basket block. Oh, I love a basket block. Berry Pickin' by Jan Regular. And it's on point. Oh, what's with this moody border? I guess it's there. It's very dark on the outside. This reminds me of the quilt shop in Boonville, Indiana. I feel like they do a lot of this, like dark green on dark blue on black with gray. I love these basket blocks. I love that red. They're all full of red. They almost look like a cactus coming out of a little pot. I really like the setting on point. I need a little, like, let's lighten it up. Like if we could have like a strip of this kind of sandy color outside the red, I feel like that would help. I do like a basket block though. Okay, is that it? No, we have one more. Let's see if we can find the 2-color pinwheels. Frame the burst of color from Scrappy 16 patch blocks. Quilt inspired by Make Your Point from designer Maybeth Oxenrider. Here's our flat look here. Oh, do you see pinwheels? Oh, I see them down here. Wow. Okay, man, I love this outer border. This green with these flowers. I can't really tell what's going on in this quilt though. Like what? This is a pinwheel block next to, oh, it's rows on point of a pinwheel and then whatever this 9/16 patch is. It's getting a little busy in there. I don't see the pinwheels. Immediately what I see are the diamonds of these 16 patches. That's what's standing out to me. And the pinwheels are just kind of making some noise in the background that's making it harder to see those. I do like the setting blocks, these triangles. I like that print. But yeah, it's pretty busy in the middle. And you know how I'm scared of pinwheels. That's why I love those Hunter Star blocks. Remember in that Christmas quilt that were like offset? So you still got the spin, but you didn't have to deal with that middle. I might make that Christmas quilt. That was a good one. Okay, but that's all the quilts in this magazine. I'm having a hard time picking a favorite out of this issue. It was a really good one. The cover quilt, I love. I really want to make this Christmas quilt with the No Points Hunter Star, but I also really like that Churn Dash quilt. So I think it's going to have to be a 3-way tie for first place. So many great quilts in this issue, and I got it for 19 cents. What a deal. Okay, leave me a comment with your favorite quilt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.